Okay, so I'm going to show you some tricks for doing advanced searches to help you find images that are big enough to print and not be pixely. So the first thing you want to do is search your topic. I'm going to use one of the bands in the bands folder, Tune Yards. Okay, then we want to go up here to images. And we can see there's a variety of images, quite a lot of stuff. And as I click on them, right here in the corner, as I move my cursor there, disappears. Got to keep it on the image. It'll tell you what size the image. This is 560 by 245, so that's way too small to print. 1120 by 747, that one's better. We could go to the top here and go to Tools, and that brings up another row of info. And we could say size large, but that still is kind of a generic parameter. 1600 by 1067, that's not too bad. 868 by 1200, better, but we really want to set a minimum size. So in Google, go to Settings, that's here by Tools, click on Settings, Advanced Search. So Settings, Advanced Search. We just need Tune Yards. We got a lot of hits with that. Image size, you're going to want to go 2 megapixels at minimum. I'm actually going to click 4 megapixels. And then here under Advanced Search, I'm going to click, and I'm going to see a bunch of images that come up. Fortunately, this band has a lot of bigger images, so I'll click on this Tune Yards image here. And when I go over here, I see it's 2500 by 1667. So that's bigger, that's pretty good. So how do we get these images? Well, I can control click or right click, and I can say copy image address. And I'll go here and paste it in another window. That's pretty good because at the end it says JPEG. That tells me I'm going to get a JPEG, and here it's real big. When I click on it, we can see it's a nice large image. I'm going to control click or right click and say save image as, and send it, to my, I'm going to send it to my downloads. I suggest you send it to your folder that you're working from. All right, so let's take a look here. That's cool, and there's space to put stuff up here, and you could actually use content-aware fill to extend that successfully, and it's pretty big, 4,480 by 6,720. So I'll try that same trick. I'll control click, copy image address. I'll go over here, I'll hit Command V to paste it in. Okay, so it comes up really tiny, and that's the thumbnail version. That means that this is a small version. It's not magically going to get bigger when you download it. So let's go to the website. Ooh, sorry. And here we can see that it's their management company, and that there's press information on here, like pictures and information about the band. So I will control click, save link as. I'm going to download this large image, as it says download high res image. All right, so as we're clicking on these, you'll see in the corner they're all good size images, and bigger is definitely better with design, makes it easy. So I think this one too would be a nice one. I could easily use the content aware fill to extend the background if need be. But actually, ooh, look at this one. That's a very nice one. All right, so I'm going to try Control Click, copy image address, or right click, whichever one you want. And I'll go over here and paste it in. Okay, so I got the small version. Let me try and go to the website. Okay, so that's an image. It's not the right image. Can I find it? No. There it is, but it looks pretty, that's pretty small. Let me see if I can control click, copy image address. Let's see if we get that nice big version. And we did. So sometimes you have to play around because this says it's 7,360 by 4,912. So sometimes you might have to go searching for it. There's also sometimes where you just can't get it. It's protected and you won't be able to get the image. But dig around a little before you give up. So I'm going to control click and say save image as, save. So, you know, I can keep clicking on things, looking at the size. I'm going to go back to, oh, which one did I want? This one. I'm going to try this, copy, control click and copy image address. Just sit in here, see if I get the full size. I sure did, that's great. And I can tell because when I click on it, it gets nice and big. And again, right click or control click, save image as, save. Now you always want to check the size of your images in Photoshop. Don't just use them without taking a look at them. Another thing you always want to make sure of is when you click on them, they look clear, they're not all pixely. Sometimes people will download an image, blow it up real large, it's a pixely mess, they re-upload it, but that algorithm only sees the file size, not the quality, so you always have to check that. Okay, so we have our images now open in Photoshop, so we want to check the image size. So you're going to go up to the menu and you're going to say image size. It'll bring up your box. So this one says 72. You have to uncheck that resample. Resample allows you to create new info and throw info away. We want to tell the computer, hey, don't make any new info, just rearrange the info that's here. So it's 51 inches by 51 inches at 300 for the resolution. We're going to type, or at 72 for the resolution, we're going to type in 300. And it's going to be 12.38 by 12.38. So 12 by 12 is pretty good. Your design is supposed to be 11 by 17, so that gives you some space on the sides for a bleed. Okay, so I'm going to hit OK. So that one's a good size, and you know, zooming in on it, the image quality looks great. So here's the other one. Same thing, image size. This one is 72 as well. We have resample unchecked, and this one is 102 inches for the width, and the height is 68 inches at 72. So this is a very big image. I'm going to type in 300, and it goes down to 24 by 16. I'm going to hit OK. Let me zoom in. Yeah. Okay. Okay, so that one looks pretty good. Okay, same thing here, image size, and uncheck resample, type in 300, 8 by 5, not as big as the other ones, but still, if you're doing 11 by 17 and this is across the top, you're going to have You're gonna have 1.5 inches on either side of it, so it's not bad. Okay, so here's the press photo. And this one already is 300 at 14 by 22, so this one is very big. And it's plenty big to fit your whole image. I had said earlier about using content aware fill. Let's just do that real quick. Let's go to canvas size. And we could say proportionally, I wanted them to be at the bottom. So I'm going to add some more height to it. And I want the height to be added only to the top. I'm going to hit OK. I'm going to grab my magic wand, W on the keyboard, select this top area, edit, fill, content aware. Now there's other options, my foreground color, my background color, content aware pattern, yeah, you probably don't want that one. Most of the time you'll be using foreground, background, or content aware. Sometimes black, white, and 50% gray as well. Those are good. But we want content aware, so I'll stop talking about the other options. And it'll look at your whole image and try and copy what it sees up here so that it's not stretching things out. It's copying pieces of your image and pasting it to continue it. Let's see how good it does. And it's taking a minute because it's a big, big, big file. That did a pretty good job. I'm going to go to the canvas size. I don't think the ratio is quite right. So I think I'll make the width 20. Put it over here. Let's see if we get any glitches. I'm going to select this area. So I want it kind of to fit more in the ratio of 11 by 17. It looked too tall and thin. And I will say edit, fill, content aware. Okay, I don't know, it might copy them some. We'll see what happens. Oh, did a great job. So that's great. So if I go image size, we don't need an image this big. So let me see what happens. I'm just going to leave resample off. I'm going to put it to 11.25. So the height, let's try this. Let's try just the height because the height got too short. 17.25, and now the width is fine. We know we want some bleeds. So we want some of this to go outside the edges. So 12.321 for the width. It's wider than the width of 11.25, which we specified for bleed. It can be more. You just don't want it to be less. And again, it raised the resolution. That's okay though. Our resolution can be higher if we need it to be. Now, if you have something else that's at 300 and will fit on here nicely, if you pasted something that's 300 on here, it would shrink down. So you can check resample if you want. You can throw away information. So I'm going to type in 300 for the resolution. You don't have to do that, but if you were pasting other things on here that were 300 and you couldn't make them any bigger, that would be a good thing to do. And when we paste that in, it also will make the image size smaller. And we can see here it went from 144 megabytes, it'll be 54.7 megabytes. Okay. And now you could save that, file save as, and send it to the file, save as. I recommend TIFF just because you can compress it and it won't get too big. Where JPEG, you can compress it as well, but you'll lose some information. It's a lossy compression, where TIFF is a compression that isn't lossy. You don't lose information from the TIFF. Also, it's, it doesn't degrade as you open and close it. Now you got to open and close a JPEG. This a lot of times to make that happen, but it will happen. So it's just better, safer to go with TIFF for now. You can also save it as just a Photoshop document, by the way. And that will also go into Illustrator. It will go into InDesign. But I'm going to go with TIFF. Hit save. And you want to keep this LZW compression on. Interleaved is great. And the byte order, IBM PC, that is fine. The Mac can read it. And the PC was not able to read the Mac byte order. If that's changed, I don't know, but it's easier, better safe than sorry. And hit OK. And now you can put this in Illustrator. You can put this in InDesign.